There are three levels of the universe. The upper worlds are those we see at night, the stars. They are called supreme planet systems. We can't see the lower systems. They are underneath. They are called Patala Loka. We are going to study it in Sanskrit. As it's a science, we are supposed to bring knowledge. Medicine is studied in Latin, and every medic knows what, for example, mandibula means. Everybody understands. It's jaw, lower jaw, in fact. I know one surgeon, he always says when he sees something beautiful that his mandibula has dropped. He's been working in medicine all his life. Sanskrit is a language which is difficult to be translated. You have to understand its essence. These planet systems or galaxies are called lokas. Galaxy is translated as loka. Planet is graha. They are often translated incorrectly. Loka is translated as planet. Literal translation is universe, loka. And in upper lokas, gods live. Who are gods? Such a scary word. In Sanskrit, they are devats. Devats are living beings who rule material world. There are only 33 million of them. These are the main ones only. There are devas, mahadevas and upadevas. You'll soon understand why I'm telling you that. We're going to study which deva through which line. Deva means deity. There's a Russian word girl, devushka, devitsa, which means divine. It means that women used to be worshipped. The word devitsa, it's also divine, something wonderful. There are Mahadevas. Maha means big, gigantic, huge. Such creatures as Brahma, Shiva, Durga are related to them. Very powerful creatures of huge size, which influence the whole space. Varuna, for example, Vayu, the god of wind and water. Why does the wind blow? Because trees stagger. And why does water go up a tree? Where is the pump? What pumps the water up? The moon. High tides, low tides. The moon does this. So devats have their functions and duties. They are living beings. They have names, they have own qualities. Who can become a devata? We can become a devata in the next life. However, there is one condition. Your consciousness has to be of a certain level. Let me describe a character. When we study the palm, we'll also divide it in three sections. Devats, upper part. Humans, middle part. The lower world is here. The palm, like the universe, is to be divided in three parts. Write down Devat's character. Devats possess the following qualities. Their idea of happiness is to give happiness to others. Interesting idea, isn't it? Why does the sun shine? Does it get money for it? No. But he does this because he's happy. He has this taste. Taste in Sanskrit is called bhava. It's a certain kind of relationship. Bhava, it's relationship. And taste in Sanskrit is rasa. So devats has this taste of happiness. There are people who like creating good. For example, Mother Teresa. What made her do this? She had a motive. This motive comes from upper worlds. If a living being has such a way of thinking, such consciousness, they go to the world of devats. It doesn't depend on the amount of how many bows you do in church. It happens when the level of consciousness is high. They don't have as much egoism as people do. The second quality, they're incredibly responsible. It's impossible to oversleep and skip work not to fulfill their duties. The next quality, they're connoisseurs of art and beauty. They can't imagine life without jewels, without beauty, music, and songs. All those actors who bring joy, happiness at the stage. I mean, good actors, not demonic ones. They emit shine, happiness. This is Devat's world. They have constant parties. They work and rest, but they rest in a way we can't even imagine. They love, relishing, but at the same time never forget God. They never forget. They always have the idea that they always perform yagyas, certain rituals, always do their duties for Him. Positions they have are given by God. Besides, Devats have the opportunity to get an audience with Him. It's like if you come into the Kremlin and you can come to the president and see him. So Devats can see the God. And in Mahabharata it's been often mentioned that he communicates with them. This is a very diverse world and very beautiful one. They've got lots of mystic power. They're very powerful. Look what they've done with Japan. Just water, isn't it? They watered it a little. Humans, in comparison, are just insects. Tornado, floods are made by Varuna. Varuna, Lord of Water. He commands both the ocean on earth and the whole water element. Greeks called him Neptune. Oh no, Poseidon. Poseidon, yes, exactly. Devats have the following traits of character. They live a cat and dog life with asuras. They can't stand each other. That's why there's a great distance between them. They're fighting all the time. In fact, asuras attack Devats constantly. When you create a beautiful place for yourself, a park, an oasis, who comes there immediately? Evil spirits start swarming there. The same is in the space. Those beautiful places are always invaded by asuras. Who are they? They are suras, devats, and prefix a. In Sanskrit means no, denial, opposite. Asuras are very powerful creatures. They are less powerful than devats, but they are kind of black gods. Do you know that such creatures as Grodha, rage, it's a living creature? People in rage, in photos. Oh, we have a seminar on physiognomy. I showed the photos of rage of different nationalities. The faces aren't identical. Everybody in rage have the same face, a common feature. Asuras are in subtle bodies. They can travel for great distances. They possess mystic powers. Asuras are not devils with horns. They are very beautiful. All modern fashion is Asuric. It's all Asuric. All the fashion shown now is Asuric. Devat's fashion is different. Gold, crowns, beautiful clothes. It's absolutely different culture. Now culture from lower worlds is coming. Heavy metal. Actually, it's not Asuras, it's Rakshasas. Rakshasas are savages. Asuras are well educated. They know how to separate soul from body. They master yoga. They can move in space with great speed. They can occupy any body. They have their own kin, like Devats do. They own government and so on. Ravana from Ramayana was an Asur. He was very powerful. But his father was Brahman, a sage. His mother was from Asuric family and father was from Brahman's family. That's why Ravana had Vedic knowledge, did yagyas and got what? Power, strength, conquered all the three worlds. Hitler also was Asuras. He knew how to use powers of nature, all the ceremonies, he knew what to do. He only ruled the world. Write down, Asuras are incredibly educated. Asuras. I had a case. I was conducting a seminar in Moscow and there was a woman. She had a certain style, black nails, certain symbols, and when we started discussing Asuras, she became anxious because she was being shown up. At the end, she came up to me. Why do you know about our world? Can I be sure that I'm talking to a woman, or you're just inside her? I'm inside her. This woman is already dead. I saw such things. They get the body and leave, solving their problems. She did such things. She moves my microphone like this with her eyes. They possess such powers. I'd like to say that there are a lot of such creatures among us. I don't want to frighten you, but you have to know that they are well educated and have mystic knowledge. Besides, they know all world scriptures perfectly. That's why they easily change the essence. It's enough to change a couple of lines and the essence of philosophy changes. And they rule the world. All those shadow governments, secret organizations are their projects. They are connected with Asuras, who rules from other worlds. They contact them, get their instructions. I know one actor, he told that once they suggested him to join the union. You'll have everything. There's one more thing, write down. There's a treaty in the universe. Free choice. If a person chooses a way of light, Asuras don't touch them. If they chooses the dark path, the light ones don't touch them, you see? Free choice. It's not true that they fight with each other. They exist, but a person chooses themselves. Write down, Asuras have the following traits of character. If you know this, you'll be able to define which world the person has come from which world the soul has reincarnated. They believe that emotions are weakness. Have you noticed this? If you show emotions, it's a sign of weakness. They say you can't cry, can't show emotions. Their philosophy is that you're God yourself, you're creator of your fate. Only you have this power. All these modern psychological books, read them. What are they about? About manipulations. They teach you how to manipulate other people. This is Asuric philosophy. And have you noticed that people today stopped feeling their sattvic chakra, this one, is closing more and more. Brain is getting bigger because of technologies and heart is becoming worse and worse. There's no compassion, no mercy. Asuras don't accept these qualities. It's weakness for them. Do you remember this philosophy? There's no place for the weak on earth. They all accept this. Hooray. That's why people are afraid to show emotions. They don't have emotions. They're very restrained, controlling themselves. Next Asuric quality, they are very envious. Envy is a demonic quality, Asuric quality. Malice and anger. But they conceal it skillfully. Their idea of life is domination. Devots live with the aim of giving happiness, but Asuras' aim is domination. They want to control everybody. If you see in anyone a strong desire to control, for example, a girl wants to control her husband, children, everybody at work, she is at Asuric influence. Asuras can enter people. Also, they can influence us via culture. Modern culture is all about it. Now I'll explain why they fight so desperately for lands, why they need them. There's a universe law. Humans are in the middle. It's a middle planet system. It's called Briti Loka, a world of death in Sanskrit. Asuras live alone. They can leave one body, get another. It's not a problem, and we need to rebirth. That's why it's world of death. If humans worship asuras, asuras become powerful. They get the results of sacrifice. In Stalin and Lenin times, there were yagya, eternal flame, austerity, and ascetic is standing and guarding, deities, murtis, sculptures. Isn't it a religion? It is. But look, who did they worship to? There's their own Bible, Mein Kampf for Marxism, Leninism, sacred books, sacred hymns, international. Do you see what it was? Who organized this? There are also Vedic hymns which glorify God. Remember one more thing. Asuras will never be able to resist God. He doesn't have this goal to conquer, as many Christian doctrines say. An opportunity is given, light and darkness. Due to opposites, a living being can understand what is light and what's darkness. To understand darkness, you have to experience light. There are laws of nature. There's no sense to fight with them, to organize confrontation, as many try to do even in Russia. Don't do this. You should destroy these asuric qualities inside yourself, and everything will recover. So people give power through worshipping. If they worship gods, as it was in Greece and Rome, they get connection with upper worlds. That's why they fight for people, for culture, in fact, which will exist here. A hand has three parts. Upper part, world of gods. The thinner fingers are, the gentler the hand is, it looks like lotus. Gods are very graceful. They don't have cult of power. Asuras have it. If you look Greek statues and our sculptures, a woman with a sickle. Notice the difference, Greek and Soviet sculptures. You see, there's cult of power. That's why their bodies are very beautiful, and they don't want violence. They don't have such an idea. Fingers, a hand will be like this. The less graceful hand is, the lower intelligence is. What is hand? We act with the help of hands. This shows our consciousness, how we act, rude or delicate. Pianists, musicians have thin fingers. Not because they play the piano. They were born with these qualities. They are delicate. They are connected with upper worlds. Music is supreme energy. Classical music. There's also music from lower worlds. You'll never see a rock musician with such fingers. They don't need them. Power. Excitation. Middle world is earthlings. What's their quality? Living beings who live in this middle world. Egoism. All we're interested in is me, my family, and nothing more. These are humans. That's why our village agree with the other one. They have some laws, they peacefully agree and peacefully exist. People are not aggressive, but they're egoists. Besides, their egoism covers their consciousness so that they even can't unite against their mutual enemy. It's discord. Unlike devas, they are very mobile, very quick and act. Asuras are the same. They are together. They know that unity is power. People don't, especially Western world. separately from each other. Even in churches, there's separation, not to touch each other. Asuras and devats regard people, especially now, like insects. To wash away a couple of cities which pollute atmosphere, it's like cockroaches are being killed. Wash them off into the toilet. We see the same nowadays. Why there are so many disasters? Because people have started acting like monsters. They pollute nature, and it's a living being. Planet Earth is a goddess. Her name is Bhumi, Mother Earth. In old times, Rusiches worshipped her. She was Mother Earth. She is female. Her son is Mars, her own son. We'll start planets right now. So, what do people do? They live on Earth, relish their feelings. Their whole life is about food, sleep, defense, sex. That's all. But the only advantage people have, some of them, have interest in self-knowledge. Human body is meant to develop its consciousness, to improve themselves. It's arranged this way. If you look at the body structure, you'll see that it's comfortable for us to sit in lotus, do asanas. Spine is meant for this. It's not for carrying heavy things. Problems start because of it. Donkeys don't have problems with spine. It carries but doesn't have problems. It's meant for this. Horses don't have teeth here to insert harness. It's specially for this. But humans are not supposed to do this. They are meant for thinking, creating, spiritual progress. It's human race. If a person doesn't fulfill their duties and doesn't want to use human body, they get any other body but not a human one. The biggest problem is to lose this body. That's why Ayurveda says that we should take care of the body. It's said that it should be kept healthy and looked after. It's a gift, and a rare one. There are very few humans. Here in this room, there are millions of microorganisms. There are only 6 billion people on Earth. It's not that much, and they contrive to kill each other. Asuras don't even have the idea of killing asuras. Devats won't ever attack devats. Only people do this. That's why they now look at us as we are mentally ill. They try to help somehow, send various representatives, Jesus and others. They come, try to explain something. Some people get released, others don't. These are earthlings. That's why our lives are very short. In other epochs, people lived long, about 100,000 years. Have you noticed an interesting connection? How long do rats live? 2 or 3 years. Why? The more primitive consciousness is, the shorter life is. Do you understand now why life expectancy is shortening? And what for do you live? Look, there is an accountant. He's been 20 years at his place and will be there 120 more. He isn't interested in anything. Nothing, neither spiritual progress, no family relationship. He's not interested even in sex. That's all. He spends even everything he gets. I don't want to offend accountants. I mean, there are people who live this way. Getting their profit, enjoying it, playing. He needs to be removed from the office somehow. How to remove him, how to make him to evolve. Get him out of the body. That's all. Utilized. As programmers say, file was successfully deleted. He was useless. That's why 40 years, mortality rate is very high at the age of 40. It's an interesting date. When you study dates with lines, you'll see there are stages. 40 years is the result of youth, a result of your youth. Youth has passed, half of life has been lived. If we take 80 years, half of life has been lived.
Решение. И смотри дальше. Так, ну
You've
что?
earned,
Ты вроде
you seem
заработал, ты вроде
okay,
все нормально,
you're
ты вроде
well in
устроился в
life.
жизни.
What's the
Решение.
solution? To
Пить.
drink.
Отлично.
Great.
Файл
File will be
успешно удален.
successfully deleted.
А
And
если
if the
решение
solution is
отлично,
progress,
добавьте к нему
great,
еще
give
условия.
him 40 years more.
Вот вам
Here is the
рецепт
recipe of
долголетия.
longevity.
Чем сильнее вы
The
духовно
better your
развиваетесь, тем
spirit
дольше.
progress is, the longer
Есть
life
смысл
is.
менять тело, потому
There's
что
no
вы так
sense to
работаете.
change body as
Поэтому
you're
люди
already
такого
working. That's why yogis live that long.
Не
Do you
хочет
know
работать.
why?
Нет
They've
менять
got
тела.
lots of work to
Детство
do. They don't have time to
Идем
change
писать.
bodies, to become
Нет,
child
не
again,
работает.
to pee in diapers again. They're busy. They have to work.
Итак,
Now we start planets. There are three parts.
Три части, понятно? Когда вы
When you
рассмотрите
look at
руки
somebody's
человека,
hands,
помните, если человек
know that
асурическое
if a
сознание,
person has an
у них будет
Asuric
разная
consciousness,
часть
this
силы.
part is developed
Палец
well.
большой будет
The
по
thumb
самому
is
низу.
lower. Why?
Почему? Это
This is
палец
Venus,
веры, это палец
feelings,
чувств. А мы с вами
and
говорили,
we've
что у них
discussed
чувства
that their feelings are
запретны.
forbidden.
Опа,
Here,
часть все
it's
поставили.
usually lower.
Наблюдайте за
Watch
такими
these
людьми, у них
people.
будущие
Usually they have
странные
strange
мысли.
thoughts.
Это
It
не
doesn't
означает,
mean
что
they are
вы асур.
asuras.
Это означает,
It
что у
means
него
their
асурическое
mentality is
умонастроение. Вот,
Asuric.
пожалуйста, не путайте эти
Don't
вещи.
confuse these
Он
things.
встал
They
на
are
этот
on
путь.
this way.
Не
Don't
говорит,
say this
я
is
тебе не
Asur.
нужна.
I've recognized him.
Настроение
It's mood,
появилось.
tendency.
Тенденция к движению туда.
Write down your questions. So
Итак,
look,
смотрите. Если
if the
развита
middle
средняя
part of the
часть
hand
ладони
is
сильно,
well
значит,
developed,
развит средний.
middle
То есть
world
человек
is
уже что?
developed.
Money,
Money is
падает,
important.
money.
Money is everywhere.
Money тут, money здесь, тара-тара-тара-тара. Время нога, деньги.
This
Эта
part.
часть. Поэтому
That's why
бизнесменам
businessmen
чаще всего
usually have square
квадратные
palms,
такие руки и сильно
and
развита
this
эта
part is
часть.
strong.
Вы ему не
You are
потенциал
telling
угодили.
him about heaven, he is telling you about money. Useless.
Они
They
не
move
делают
economy, in
экономику,
fact.
по большому счету.
It's idea of their
У
life,
них идея такая.
like a chipmunk,
Как у этого
to
бурдука,
accumulate
как
wealth
себе богатство
and die with it.
нарисовать. У меня был
I had a
самолет,
hamster when I was a
постоянно
child.
съедал
It gathered
зернышки.
grains all the
Набивал,
time.
набивал, набивал,
It
вот
filled
однажды
and filled and
набирал
filled, and one day it died right on this pile of a grain. It's the same thing.
Так вот, описано слово у богов
Devas
есть
have a
понятие
notion of
Они
dharma.
знают, как деньги
They
тратить,
know
для
how to
чего.
spend money. On what?
Не все
Not
бизнесмены
every
дураки.
businessman is
Есть
a
бизнесмены,
hamster.
которые социальные проекты
Some of them
делают,
do
хотят
social
развить
projects.
культуру.
They want to help culture. These people understand, and more money comes to them. But if you don't understand, it's taken away from you. This very part, you see? If fingers are long, the nature is divine.